Hi guys, it's Miss Berg again. I'm going to be talking about 3.6. I will tell you that I've been trying to upload these videos onto a place where everyone can go ahead and go onto. The issue is that all my videos are very long, so I can't even do that. So for it, I'm going to start like making them in short little videos so that I can at least post it. So if it goes over a certain amount of time, I'm going to go ahead and um, move on over to uh, probably like stopping the video and doing like a second part of it. The other thing I'm probably thinking about doing is I'm going to do less problems with you, just to make this go a little faster. And I will then, like in like the show what you know area, I'll probably just show you the answers of it and kind of quickly talk about it instead of doing it with you. Uh, and that should make it faster. So this one is 3.6. So I'm going to switch it on over here. All right, so 3.6, it says now we're going to be talking about decimals and subtracting them. Now, this again is one whole. This is showing a tenth, and this one is showing 100th. So what they are saying here is to use base 10 blocks to find the answer to 84 hundredths minus 56 hundredths. So first, it says to go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to show you something. I ended up kind of already showing it right here of what it is telling you. So real quick, what I want you all to do is to go ahead and put 84 hundredths and then subtracting 56 hundredths. Now this is a little different because the reason why it's different from the last one is that you're not adding on to it, you are actually subtracting. So in this case, this is the number that you have in your possession. For example, this is showing 0 holes, so there are no holes. Remember, these are the holes. There are no holes, but there are 8 tenths, so that's what it's showing right there. And then there are 4 hundredths right here. So then they want us to take this amount away. So I'm going to be talking about this as we're doing it right here. So again, if you want to do this, you can kind of do it with me here. I'm just going to go and okay, so right here, I'm just going to kind of show the things as well. So again, if you need to see a visual, this is 8 tenths and 4 hundredths. So I have that visual right over here. Now it wants us to take away 56 hundredths. Now, first thing that we need to look at is the hundredths first. But before that, make sure you bring down your decimal so you don't forget about it. All right, so now here we go. We have 4 hundredths and they want us to take away 6. So can I take away 6 from 4? If I take these away, that is not enough. That is only 4. I don't have enough to take away 6. However, could I come over to this and break this up into several of these little cubes and borrow from one of these longs? And the answer to that is yes, you can. So you guys all know that from before when you guys have been subtracting for a very long time. So you come over and borrow if you don't have enough. So now that is going to be 7. And now you're just going to add on 10 more to that number. So now I just added on 10 more plus that 4. So now that is a total of 14. Now can I, and now there's only 7 of these. So now do I have enough to take away 6? Yes, I do. So when you do, take 6 away, you are left with with 8. So therefore, there is 8 hundredths left. So now you look here. Now it says you have 7. Can I take 5 away? And you can come over and just take away 5. Yes, I do. And that would be 2 left. And then you have 0 holes. Can you subtract 0 holes? That would be 0 holes. So therefore, this would be your answer. So again, what we did here, we remember we only had 4, we didn't have enough. So we broke one of these apart, which then was 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So then that was 10 plus 4 more. Then I had enough to get rid of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would leave me with 8 left. And that's how we got that. Now that's only 7. Now we could get rid of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that is 2 longs left, which then has 0 holes. So the next part it says, so do you need to regroup to subtract? Because it said subtract 5600. Start with removing the 600s. Did you have to regroup? Yes, we had to regroup. We had to take a borrow from the tenths and make it 10 hundredths. So yes, I'm going to write that real quick. Yes, I needed to take 1/10th, and make 10 more hundredths. So then my answer, then you can subtract the tenths and remove 5, which we already did that. When we remove 5, there was 2 left. So therefore, my answer to this was 28 hundredths. Now, it says down here, if 2 decimals are both less than 1 whole, what do we know about the difference between them? So they said to take 2 decimals that are both less than 1 whole, and I'm just going to give you an example. Here's like 28 hundredths, that's less than a whole, and then subtract from 27 hundredths. If you do that, bring down your decimal first. 8 minus 7 is 1. This would be 0 and 0. So what is happening here, the difference between these two are always going to come up less than 1 whole. It should never be more than 1 whole. So that is what I want you to write. The difference between, difference means the answer to a subtraction problem. The difference between the two will always be less than 1 whole. So if you're getting something that is bigger than 1 whole, then you did something wrong there. All right, so now I'm just going to kind of go over here. Again, I'm just going to kind of skip around because I need to make this quick video, not a long video. So here is the next one. I'm going to do this quick picture with you. It says use the model 2 and 82 hundredths, and then you're going to subtract off 1 and 47 hundredths. So I'm going to write it here, the subtraction. I think it's so much easier if you are doing the subtraction. Remember to line up your decimals and bring down your decimal. All right, so this is what you have, and this is what you are going to subtract from it. So I'm going to show this part up here. So that is 2 wholes, 8 longs, and then 2 hundredths. All right, so we're going to start here. First of all, can I have 2 and take away 7 hundredths? No, I cannot. So in this case, I'm going to have to come over and borrow. Remember, a long has 10 of these little hundredths in them. So therefore, I'm going to come over and take one off. Now you can kind of come over here and show that. If you take one away, that will now be only 7, but then that would bring up 10 more hundredths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now I have 10 plus the 2 that are there. So that's a total of 12 now. Now do I have enough to take away 7? Yes, I do. So if I come over and do that, I'm going to take away 7. What are you left with? You are left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're left with 5 more. Then on your tenths, if you look, you have 7. Now it's telling you that you need to take 4 of those away. So I'm going to take these 4 away. What are you left with? You are only left with 3. And you could do that by 7 minus 4 is 3. And then the last thing is have 2 wholes, which we do. And we're going to take one of them away. So when we do that, 2 minus 1 is 1. So your answer is 1 and 35 hundredths. So that is how you do that. So we had to regroup the hundredths because we didn't have enough. We did not have to regroup the tenths because we had enough. So is there enough hundredths to remove? No, so that's why we had to regroup. Were there enough tenths to remove? Yes, there was. So we did not have to regroup the tenths. So that is what you are going to be doing. So I'm going to just quickly do a couple more. Again, this one is saying you're starting off with 62 hundredths and you're going to take away 18 hundredths. So I'm going to do that math over here because I think it's so much easier to look at the actual subtraction problem and do it along with it. So first thing you need to do is bring down your decimal. Next thing, all right, so I have 2 hundredths, which is what it's showing. Do I have enough to take away 8? I do not. So in this case, I have to borrow from my 6 longs, and now I'm going to take 1 away. So I'm going to take this 1 away, and now I'm going to come over and make 10 more. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and now this is 12. So now that is 12 of them. So then now do I have enough to take away 8? Yes, I do. So I'm going to take away 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. What are you left with? You are left with 4. Now with the 5 longs that are now remaining because you took one, can you take one away? Yes, you most certainly can. So that will be 4. And then are there any wholes? No, there are not. So therefore your answer is 44 hundredths. Okay, so next, same thing. You are going to have 3 and 41 hundredths, and then you're going to subtract off 1 and 74 hundredths. So the first thing you need to do, bring down your decimal. Now again, this is what you have. So you got to make out a model of that. So 3 wholes, 4 longs, and then 1 hundredth. All right, so first thing, you have 100. Can you take away 4 from 100? No, you cannot. But can you come over and borrow? Yes, you can. So I'm going to come over and borrow. This is now going to be, I'm going to break this apart and get 10 more out of this one. So now I have 10 plus 1 more. So that would now be 11. And now I borrowed one, and then I broke it apart. So now there's only 3 remaining. So now can I have 11 and now take away 4? Yes, I can. So now I'm going to take 4 away. Now that leaves me with 6 plus that 1, so that would be 7. Then you only have 3/10. Do you have enough to take away 7? And no, you do not. But now if I go over to borrow from a whole, so I'm going to come over and borrow a whole, which looks like this. I'm going to borrow a whole. Now, how many columns of tenths make up this when I break it apart? There's actually 10 of these. So now when I break this part up into many of these, that would be now 10 longs. So now I'm going to come over and take this, and then I'm going to break these up into 10 more longs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, plus those 3. So that would be a total of now 13. Now do I have enough to give away 7? And yes, I do. So I'm going to come over here, take this away. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So then therefore I am left with this many, which is 5 and then 6. So therefore there's 6 left. And then looking at the wholes, you had 2 wholes. You're going to take away one of them. That is now only 1 67/100. All right. So I'm just going to do a couple more here. This one, trying to see. So if you just do this one, oops. Again, there is no holes, so this is 8 of these, and then 4 of these. So then, if you have 4, can you take away 7? No, you cannot. So then now you have to come over and break one apart, which then will give you 10 more of these. And so that would be a total of 14 now. So I just borrowed one of the longs, and then now that makes 14. So then can I take away 7? Yes. So if you show taking away 7, that would be 3 plus 4 more, so that would be 7 remaining. Then looking at the longs, you have 7 now because you borrowed one. Do you have enough to give away 5? Yes, you do. So therefore you are left with just 2 left, and there are 0 holes. All right, so then just because of time, I am now going to just kind of skip around. I do want you to do this one on your own, so please pause it and try this one on your own, and then unpause, and we'll see if you got it. All right, so you should have paused and tried this one on your own. So this one is showing that you have 4 holes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 holes. There are no longs, but then there are 500ths. Okay, so there's that. Now they're saying that you need to take away 1 61/100ths. Okay, so we are going to do that. So I have 500ths. Again, bring down your decimal. I have 500ths. Can I take away 1? Yes, I can. So if I do, what am I left with? I am only left with 4. So that is 4. Now I have 0 longs. Can I give away 6? No, I cannot. So in this case, this is where you're going to have to go to the next door neighbor. You're going to have to borrow a whole. So I'm going to borrow a whole, and I'm going to break it up into 10 longs. So now I have 10. Now do I have enough to give away 6? Yes, I do. So now I'm going to take away 6, and now I'm left with only 4. And now looking at the holes, I only have 3 left. Can I give 1 away? Yes, I can, and then I'm only left with 2. So therefore, this is showing 2 and 44 hundredths. All right, so that is what you are supposed to be doing on that. Now, just to save time, I'm just going to continue here. If you subtracted the next one out, it would have been 85 hundredths. Again, you had enough of the hundredths to give away, but then you did not have enough. So you tenths, because you only had 3 and you needed to give away 5. So you had to go over and borrow from that one hole, and then that would have been 10 more. So then you had enough to give away 5, and that would have been 8, and then 0 holes. All right, now this next one says, write a decimal subtraction equation that requires regrouping from the tenths and explain how you know you will need to regroup. So here is, I just had a problem. I had a 7, and then I had to give away 9. In this case, I have to regroup because I don't have enough hundredths to give away 9. So therefore, I know I will need to regroup 1/10 and borrow from a tenth and make 10 hundredths from it, because the number in the hundredths I am subtracting is greater on the bottom than the top number. So in this case, I had to borrow because the bottom number was larger than my top number, which I cannot have. All right, so now I'm going to skip on over to the next one here. It says Antonio left his math board on his desk during lunch. The quick picture shows the problem he was working on when he left. So write a word problem that can solve using this quick picture. So what it's showing is, first you got to see how much he had originally. He had 3 holes. He had 6 hundredths, sorry, 6 tenths. And then how many hundredths? He had 7 before he took things away. Then it showed that he took things away. So now we got to see how many he took away here. It shows that he took 2 away, which then left him with only 5 remaining. Then here it shows that he took 4 away. So then that only had 2 remaining. And then a decimal. And then it shows here that he took 2 away, which then only had 1 left over. So this is what he was showing. And just to save time, we came up with this. George had 3 67 hundredths pounds of turkey and sold 2 45 hundredths pounds. How much does he have left? That was the problem that we posed. That was the word problem that we came up with on that. All right, now I want you to try this one on your own. It says the price of the box of markers at a retail store is $4.65. The price of a box of markers at the school bookstore is $3.90. How much more do the markers cost than the at the real retail store? So explain how you can use a quick picture to solve your problem. So do try that on your own to see how much more the markers cost at the store than at the bookstore. All right, so if you did it, this is what you should have done. You should have done $4.65 and subtracted off $3.90. So if you did that, this is what your picture would have looked like. It would have had 4 holes. It would have had 6 longs and then 5 hundredths. So it says you have 5 hundredths. You're going to take away 0 of them. So that's still going to leave you with 5. So you're good there. In this case, you had 6, but you had to give away 9. That was impossible to do because you did not have enough. So this is where you had to go over and borrow 1. So you see how I took 1 and I made that into 10 tenths. So now I had 10 tenths plus the 6 that were there, so that was a total of 16. Then I take away 9, so you can see how I slashed out 9 of them. That left with only 7 left. And then looking at the whole numbers, remember this one was gone because it was the one I borrowed, but then I have the 3 remaining. Then I was supposed to take 3 away. So then that would have been 0. So that is what you were supposed to do there. All right, real quick, now I'm going to give you your homework. You can draw a quick picture on the ones that you have for homework, just up in this part. The ones down here, it does not say to draw a quick picture, so you do not need to do that here. You could just simply do the subtraction problem here. So you have 7 and 8. Again, you just need to do the subtraction problem. Don't worry about the quick pictures. The quick pictures are just for these ones only. You will not be doing number 9. So real quick, you will have 2, 4, and 5 for homework. I am going to do these 2 very quickly with you. So first of all, you should line these up. Always line up the decimals when you are subtracting or adding decimals. And then same with this one. You're going to do this one with me as well. So I'm going to line it up. All right, so here is saying you have 0 wholes. Remember, this was 1 whole. So this one is 1/10. So that's showing this. And then this is showing 100th, which looks like that. So in this case, there are no holes, so there's no boxes. There are 9 longs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 2 hundredths. And now it's telling us to take this away. So look at the 2 hundredths. Again, bring down your decimals so you don't forget about it. You have 2 hundredths. Can you take 1 away? Yes, you can. So when you do that, you're only going to have 1 left, which is what you are doing here. Then look here, you have 9. Can you take away 5? Yes, you can. You have enough. So then that would be 4 remaining. And then there are 0 wholes. So then your answer is 41 hundredths. Next, this one is showing 3 wholes and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 longs. So now it's saying to take away 8 of them. So in this case, you have 6, you cannot give away 8. So then this one you have to go over and borrow. So I'm going to come over and I'm going to borrow this one. And I'm going to break it up into pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now I have 10 plus that 6 more. So that's a total of 16. Now can I give away 8 of them? Yes, I can. So I could take 5, 6, 7, 8. So this whole line is gone. So that leaves you with only 8 remaining, 8 longs. Then come over to the holes. You only have 2 left, and it tells you to get rid of 1 of them. So when you get rid of 1, it is 1 and 8 tenths left. So that is your answer for this. And your answer for this one is 41 hundredths. So that is how you do those. Okay, and then on the back, you do not need to show the quick pictures unless it specifically states that. So if it does not specifically state to draw pictures, then you don't worry about it. I mean, you can if you would like, but it is not necessary. So I want you to do 1 through 5, and you're going to cross out number 6. So on the back, you're just doing 1 through 5. And that is it. So I'm going to stop the video to make this short, and then hopefully it will upload. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. Bye, guys.